Hello everyone. I want to start with this video just welcoming everybody here. I want to wish everyone my love and my respects. I wish everyone is happy and healthy. And what I wanted to talk about today was I've been reading a book called the Tao Te Ching. It's a very, very old book written, it's an ancient, about 650 years BC in China. And the Tao Te Ching, the word Tao means walking the path accordance of the universe. Now, I want to read an excerpt from chapter 11. It talks about the importance of what is not. I read this a bunch of times. The importance of what is not. And what can that mean? What is not is, it is the empty space. Because the empty space is what you find what is useful. We build a house of stone and sticks, but it's the emptiness inside, the room inside the house is what we live in. And this book goes into things like this, and it talks about, I mean, it's a way to govern your family, to govern a city, to govern a country, a way to live as a better human being. It's very simple. This book, it's very simple. It's so perfect that you can't add anything to it or take anything away from it without changing its meaning. It speaks to the person who reads it with an open mind. It speaks to them on different levels. I've read it a few times, and every time you read it, you pick up a little bit more, and how to be a better version of ourselves. And I just want to read this chapter. I want to just kind of what it meant to me. This is my it's just what it means to me. And I want to start off talking about, we have to understand the importance of not just what's in front of our face in our daily life, but the importance of the universe and understanding the universe. Why is it that important to us? Why is it so important to understand the universe? Because we live in the universe. And as you live in the universe, we have to understand it, because the better that you understand it, the better you can be a part of it, the better that we can be in harmony with it. Because we are not separate from it. We are intricately and we're intricately involved. It is us and we are it. And the universe is such a thing as that. As you know about something, you become it. It's the illusion that we are separate beings from the tree. We are separate beings from an animal. We are separate beings from each other. And that's the great illusion, that we are separate. No. Everything is a part of everything. There's only 4 elements. And every one of us is made up of the same 4 elements. We are recycled stardust, if you will. We are, I've heard it put this way before, and it just rings, we are a multi-dimensional, multi-spiritual being that's having a human experience. And the first thing I want to talk about today, getting into it, I'll get straight into it, is talking about the universe has many dimensions to it, many that we don't understand, but we are living in a 3-dimensional reality, this earth. It's a 3-dimensional reality, 3D earth. And the first dimension is the dimension of length. The length dimension is just, if you got a point here and a point there, you can stand at that one point, all you can see is forever in that one direction. That's the dimension of length. There's no creativity, there's no variation, and it's just very simple from here to there. That's one dimension in a straight line forever. And that would be the dimension of logic. The river flows from here to there for millennia and millennia. It always goes the same direction from here to there. If I make these sounds with my voice, you interpret them with your ears and your mind, which you've been taught. And when I make these sounds, you interpret it to mean this. It just is what it is. It means this. It's logical. It's understanding. That's why math is this plus this equals this. This plus this always equals this. That's the dimension of logic. Now, we as a human existence, we understand logic to be one thing. The logic is this, but as a the dimension of the universe, the logic of the universe is vastly different from our logic, because it's on such a bigger, massive scale than we could ever imagine. So our logic and the universe's logic is vastly different. And that brings us to the second dimension, which is a flow, to a rhythm of logic, which is, you take the first dimension of just for example, speaking. I say this, I say these sounds, I put these sounds together, I say this, it means this. It just is what it is. But then you take poetry. You take poetry. Now it's the same thing. It's words, but it has a flow to it. It has a rhythm to it. Now this flow to the rhythm of that means something like speaking. You have speaking, which is logic. Then you have singing. Singing is speaking with rhythm. And we love music. Music, we see music can make you feel a certain way. Now you took that logic and now you infuse feeling to it. So a rhythmic flow of logic. You infuse feeling with the logic that makes you feel a certain way. Singing can make you feel happy. It can make you feel sad. It can make you feel powerful. It can make you feel angry. It can, I mean, this music, it can move you. It can move crowds of people. So, which brings us to the topic that I wanted to talk about, is the depth dimension, the importance of what is not. Because the source of these two dimensions, the source of the length dimension, the source of the breadth dimension, the breadth, length, and width, the source of logic and the rhythmic flow of logic, is the depth dimension. And what is the depth dimension? The depth dimension is, as far as writing, words cannot be written without a blank page. So that blank page is the depth of the words. Silence is the depth dimension of speaking. Stillness is the depth dimension of movement. And you have movement, you have dancing, and then you have stillness. So stillness, emptiness, quietness, those are the depth dimensions. That is also what we call space. It's potential that has not been realized yet. The importance, and this book goes into that, the importance of what is not. And the Hindu language is so, they captivate on this moment. One of their gods, one of their main gods, Shiva, his name, Shiva, which means that which is not. Because that which is not it's nothing but pure potential. Whatever it's reality that has not happened yet, it is potential for anything to happen, great good or great destruction. And this, I want to talk about how it affects us in our life. I'll read the verse here, then we'll talk about them. We join 30 spokes to the hub of a wheel, yet it's the center hole that drives the chariot. We shape clay to birth a vessel, yet it's the hollow within that makes it useful. We chisel doors and windows to construct a room, yet it's the inner space that makes it livable. Thus do we create what is to use, what is not. And it's very simple. Well, you think about it. You have a wheel, you form the wheel, and the wood spokes of the wheel, but yet it's the axle, the center part, the empty space in the middle that enables that wheel to turn, which makes that whole, which makes the whole construction usable. You want to make a cup, a vessel. You form it out of clay, you harvest the material, pound it up into dust, you mix it with water and shape it, yet it's the empty space, the hollow part inside that makes that vessel usable. It's the empty space that makes that vessel usable. Same thing with a home, a house. We build a house, construct engineering and plans, and a lot of construction, a lot of hard work goes in to building a home. Construction, a lot of planning has to come into effect. And it's beautiful, and we decorate it with this and that and adorn it with all the stuff. But really, it's the emptiness inside, the rooms, the empty space inside, which makes it usable and habitable. I mean, so the importance is the empty space inside. And we also have that. We have a material body. We have skin, blood, bones, but look at our mind, our spirit, our soul that lives inside, that emptiness that's inside of us. That's what makes us the capacity to fill it with love, the capacity to fill it with helping, the capacity to fill it with ingenuity, this creativity that we have. I mean, it's wonderful to be human. And this empty space inside, I mean, sometimes it's a very delicate, very vulnerable place. And sometimes when we're young, sometimes things happen or situations happen, and this empty space gets bruised, it gets damaged, it gets hurt, and then it can seem to be it acts out. It can seem to be. I mean, it gets filled. We seem to fill this hole with things and material things, but that just leads to an emptiness, because it's not a fulfilling way, because we're not. It's a material. Anything material is temporary. Material things go away. They get used. They get damaged. They get used up. They constantly need to be replaced. They constantly need to be refilled. I mean, you fill a glass with your favorite beverage, and you drink it, and then the glass is always, it goes away. You fix a plate, your favorite food, and you eat it, and then it's gone. Material things always don't last. Houses need repaired. They fall into disrepair. They get ruined. Machines get bad. But investing in the emptiness, that space, your depth dimension, the emptiness inside. If you invest in that and you build that, that's a piece that's the only part of us that never gets touched by this dimension of Earth. It can't get wet. It can't be burned. It can't be cut. It can't be hurt in battle. It is an untouchable part. This dimension it's above this dimension. It's above this Earth, and nothing on this Earth can touch it. And that's kind of what this means to me. The emptiness inside, this empty space inside, is the essence of who we are, the essence of us, our consciousness, our part of us that is aware of our surroundings, which is aware of what calls the Tao, the path in concordance with the path of the universe. And living according to this creed will put us on a higher path. And it was in this book, like I've reading this so many times, it means more and it means more, and I keep picking up more things when I read this. And every time I seek to artificially create happiness or get more things or get this or get that, it just leads you to, okay, it's just another thing that I have, it doesn't add value necessarily to me. It just adds more. It makes my life more comfortable. It makes my physical life more comfortable. It makes my status symbol go up. It makes this or whatever, but it does not add to my conscious space, if you will. And I've heard it said before, another guy that I listened to, and he said the depth dimension is like, it's a dimension of the universe where, that's what, I mean, think about it. Why do people meditate? That's what meditation is. Meditation is where you just separate yourself from your busy mind that's always gnawing at you, and always, it's just like a toddler throwing a tantrum sometimes. It's just, what about this? What about that? What are we gonna do tomorrow? What about my job? What about this? What about the meeting? What am I gonna say? It's just always nonstop. It's just your mind is not your friend. your mind is a bridge. Look at your mind as a bridge that gaps physical reality with spiritual reality. Because your mind can concoct things that aren't even true. Your mind can create phobias that haven't even happened yet. Your mind, you can close your eyes and just imagine yourself sitting on a beach somewhere. So your mind isn't real. The things that you think in your mind aren't necessarily real. Your mind can perceive things that aren't exactly real. Your mind can be false. Your mind can see things in people that aren't there, but your mind can also see things that haven't happened yet that could protect you. And so your mind, I would, your mind is a very useful tool, but it's so important, to maintain a healthy mind. And that's not that's not just a matter of taking on learning more things. I mean, we have almost have an insatiable desire just for learning and learning and learning, taking in more information, more information, more information. We are literally in the age of information. We have so much information at our fingertips that, I mean, information that people have lost their lives protecting these secrets, and now we can just push a button and know these things. We're living in the age of knowledge and information, more readily available than any time at any given place in history. But it's the actualization and just knowing things. Knowing things doesn't mean anything. Is what do you do? What do you do to become a better person in your own life or your own self? Just becoming better for those around you, and just being better for your community, better for your society, better for your own, on whatever level that you want to attain to, whether it's just you and your household, you and your neighborhood, you and your workplace. I mean, they comply to any level. But always focusing on the depth dimension. It's like an empty book. The page has not been written, and I'm gonna write whatever I want to. And every day is a brand new day. What today was today could have been a horrible day. Nothing went my way. Everything that I had planned didn't work. I mean, my great speech that I had planned, I didn't even get to say it, or the things that I did say, people just disregarded it. It could have been a bad day. But it's just a day, and circumstances are random, circumstances are chaotic, and as long as we are tied to circumstances, I depend on circumstances for my happiness. If this circumstance makes me happy, and this circumstance gets me pissed off, or this circumstance makes me sad, then I become a slave to circumstances, which are the most random and chaotic thing, because you can't control other people. You can't control other people's opinions or ideas or other people's behavior. You can only control your relationship to them. In your workplace, if you're just in a horrible workplace, then it's not the only job in the world. It might be hard to change, but I mean, as long as you're alive and are taking breath in this world, there's always time for change. I don't care if you're 90 years old. You're 90 years old in a house. There's always time for you to change, to do something, to say something, to make some kind of a difference. And it's never late. It's never late, and you can't go back and change the past. One thing that I heard taught about the mind is the mind is programmable, and that's such an amazing. Once I started to actually realize this, and you cannot go back and change past. It's already happened. The words that you said, the action that was taken has already been done. The consequences have already been set in motion. You cannot change that. But what you can change is how you feel. You can change maybe how you can reconcile with someone else, maybe a harmful thing that was done or things that were said. You can reconcile with that person, but and more I want to focus on our own individual selves today. I can't change the past. I can't change the guilt that I have. I can't change whatever the embarrassing thing that I did, that I feel about. I can't change the things that I'm sad about. I cannot change the instance, but I can change how I feel about them. The mind can be programmed. And that is the depth dimension. And that's where we're able to do this at. And that's why people pray. You're tapping in because in the depth dimension is a place. It's a place of quietness. It's a place where we separate ourselves from our bodies. We separate ourselves from our minds. And it's a place because, like we talked about, the logic, the dimension of logic. Our logic as human beings and the logic of the universe is so vastly different. I mean, immensely different. And the breath dimension, the rhythmic flow of logic. Our logic, the universe's logic, is still it's a little bit close, but very, very, very different. But in the dimension of depth, in the dimension of quietness and stillness, there's such a what I heard. It's just beautiful the way he put it. It says the dimension of depth is so close. He says a jumping of the flame happens. I'm like, wow, that's a beautiful way to put it. And that's why people, when you meditate and you're still and you're quiet, that's where people get their intuition. That's where people get, they get inspired to. You can go to that quietness, separate yourself from the stress and the turmoils of daily life, and you just get a peace. And we have an opportunity that we are designed in such a way that when we go to sleep at night, we're not even aware. We are not aware of our thoughts. We're not even aware of our own bodies. I mean, you could have your hand cut off. You'd be in such excruciating pain. But when you pass out, we are designed in a way that we pass out. We have so much pain that your body can't even process. You pass out to separate yourself from that pain. We are designed in such a way. So every night when we go to sleep, we are designed in such a way to give. Why? It's to give our spirit, to give that emptiness, that depth dimension that's inside of ourselves, a break from being in this finite. This body is a prison, a self-created prison. It's a prison of comfort. It's a prison made of sticks and stones and houses and cars and fine clothes and fine things. It's a prison made of these things, all desires and feelings and urges. It's a prison made of those things. And we love it. We created it. Hand picked it out and created it. We picked it out. Tailor-made special for us, but it is a prison nonetheless. We go to sleep every night, and that's why we love sleep. That's why we love it. And it's just, we get a break. We get a break from just this human, finite existence, and we're able to do whatever we don't know. It's you close your eyes, and you're not even aware. You're not aware of your body anymore. You're just living your dream world. And then when you close your eyes, when you wake up in the night, boom, you wake up in the morning. You're not even sometimes we remember dreams, sometimes we don't. It's just the two realms are not in remembrance of each other. And that's kind of where the depth dimension comes into place. You can go to that sleeping place, that quiet stillness, that place of depth dimension with your consciousness. You can sit down, separate yourself from mind and body, and go to that, because it's a proven fact. Science has proven it, that our bodies heal itself. When we sleep, our bodies heal. We take the things that have happened, the experiences throughout the day, our body stores it to our memory. There are many miraculous things, the things we need for learning. The children, when they get their amount of sleep, when they go to sleep, the things that they learn, we build skills. It puts into our long-term memory. It puts all kinds of miraculous things happen during sleep. Our body heals, it rejuvenates, it does all kinds of things. And imagine being able to go to that place with our awareness. And that's what I'm trying to bring into my life. And that's kind of some of these videos that I make, that's kind of the purpose, is no matter what you do, speaking with someone, cooking your food, eating your food, hanging out with friends, in your workplace, bring consciousness to it. Bring awareness and consciousness in everything that we do. There's a geese flying over here. The spring's right ready to break here. You can see the trees are just starting to get the little buds on them. It's kind of, and this time of year always kind of, it's the cycle of cold is always, I don't know, it's long. It's winters here in the Midwest. So I'm from Iowa. The winters here in the Midwest they get long, they get brutal. And spring's always it's such a joyful time. It always puts me in kind of a reflective state. The long sleep is almost over, and new life, new beginnings, everything's fresh and new and vibrant, and it almost gives me just a new sense of purpose. Like we made it through the long, cold, hard winter. Nothing major happened. It makes me feel. It makes me more in a more reflective state. I just felt inspired to make a video today. So I know I don't make as much videos as I'd like to. It's got a lot of things going on my plate right now, which is no excuse. I do want to talk about more things. This is the thing that makes me feel very happy and very fulfilled. I'm going to make a better effort this year to try to put out some more content. Cooking, I have a lot of things I like doing. I like welding. I like forging. I like doing stuff with wood. I like doing outside things. I'm just going to try to I do a lot of interesting, cool things, and I just like to share that with everyone. And I'm a very deep, reflective person as well, and I try to bring consciousness into everything I do. The way I speak to my wife, the way I speak to my children, the way I speak to my friends, the way I cook, the way I eat, the way I drink, the way I carry myself, the way I walk, everything I try to do. Bring as much consciousness into everything that you do, and you become aware. And it's simple. It's a very, very simple thing. You can raise so much consciousness, and it's actually a practice you can do. It's to increase the integrity. It's whatever words come out of my mouth, and it all starts with it. Everything starts inside of me. See, everything starts on that inner space, that depth dimension. And I'm gonna wrap this video up with this. The things that I say, every word that comes at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go take a jog around the block, and I'm gonna do this. And then here comes 5 o'clock comes. Oh, I stayed up too late last night. I'm so tired. I push the snooze button, and then I don't do it. And then you make an excuse for yourself. The next day I do the same things. What happens when you do that? When you break the word that you said with yourself, you start taking yourself less and less seriously. And a practice that I like, that really, really helps out, really brings awareness in your mind and in your words. It really helps out so much. So the words that come out of my mouth, or if I tell myself I'm going to do something, I will at all costs do it. If I'm going to, even if it's for 5 minutes, do it. Because what that does, number one, you're going to be very aware of what you're thinking about. Okay, I'm not going to, if I tell us, hey, I'll swing by Friday night at 4 o'clock, then Friday night at 3:30, why did I say that? I'll make up some excuse why I can't come. That's not being authentic, and that's not having integrity. So if I said I will come, I will, even if it's so inconvenient for me, I will be there. But what that does to you is that is going to make you very, very aware of what you're thinking. Don't say that you're going to do it if you don't have, if you're not going to do it. And you start holding yourself to a very, very high standard. If the words come out of my mouth, I will do it. And number one, you're not going to be so flip with your words. You're going to be very controlled with your tongue, because that's really inconvenient. If you say you're going to do something, and the time comes you don't really want to do it, and then it's like, But if I say I did it, I will do it. And then, so what happens? You're going to be very, very careful what words that come out of your mouth. You're very aware of what you're thinking. You become very aware of what you're speaking. And how great is that? How many times is just in the brain, out the mouth, with no filter whatsoever? I mean, you raise such an intense awareness of what you're thinking and what you're speaking about. And what happens when you do this? Then you'll have an interchange when you behave like this. You'll start taking yourself very seriously. I don't mean being like not joking around, I'm saying, but you will hold yourself to you will start thinking about it. Just try it. You'll hold yourself to a different degree. It's integrity. That's what integrity is. And then people around you, when you hold yourself to a high standard or a high degree, the people around you will start holding you to wow. If he says it, you can take it to the bank, because your words become something very, very valuable. You see, and that's something that's not very common today. So when people start thinking of you like that, and you start feeling about like this, you start attracting different things in your life. You start attracting a different element. People start looking at you differently. You start looking at yourself differently, and we're nothing but energy and vibration and frequency. And then it's like, okay, you want to listen to a radio, you want to listen to the classic rock music station on the radio, Nah, I'm getting kind of tired of that. I want to listen to blues now. Well, it's not that the blues station is not playing. You're just not tuned into it. So what do you got to do? You got to reach up, tune the radio station to the dial that plays that station. That's the same thing in your life. If I want to be at a certain place in my life, you have to tune yourself into where those things are happening. It's not, you can't just say these things and go back and sit down and go make a sandwich and just expect these things to fall in your lap. No, it takes work, it takes dedication, it takes finding out about that, researching this thing, creating value. It takes action. But first it takes feeling, and first it takes a thought, and then it takes a feeling. And I want to get in a video I want to make a video of how to turn a thought into reality. It's simple, it's basic, but it's a very, very old teaching, and it's kind of hard to do, but because it takes a lot of dedication is all I want to say. And that's a later video. I won't get into that here. How to turn a thought into reality. If there's any kind of comments or people want to leave, or if there's any kind of videos that anybody would like to hear, topic, man, I am not an authority on any of these subjects. These are just my thoughts. But I've done a lot of research. I'm a very reflective person. I give a lot of deep thought to a lot of things. But if somebody has a suggestion we'd like to talk about, leave a comment, and I'll do a lot of research, and I'll look it up, and I'll just put some stuff out there, and we can talk about it, argue about it. And I by no means am I an authority on any subject. There's my thoughts. These are keys that I have found that have helped me on my journey. And if these words can help someone or just make somebody feel better or have a nice day, and that's all. That's it. I grew up rough. I grew up with nothing, and I grew up different than a lot of people, and things weren't always good. Things weren't always happy. I had to fight for everything that I've ever had. But I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast, and somebody said, and it was this: hard times make hard men make soft times make soft men. Then you go around full circle again. Soft times make hard men. And I grew up hard. Maybe not as hard as our fathers and our grandfathers and their grandfathers, but I mean, it goes on down the line. But the things that I've learned, and I'd like to be able to pass on to the younger generation of people. We have a misconception that struggling is wrong, and struggling is bad. I've messed up somewhere. If I'm fighting, I'm struggling, life is hard, I messed up somewhere along the way. No, that's not it at all. We need struggle. We need adversity in our life. We need struggle because we need resistance in our life, because resistance is those things that gives us purpose. And like an electrical circuit needs the resistance. If you don't have any resistance, it can't flow. I mean, this earth needs gravity pushing down on it. If we didn't have gravity pushing down on us, we'd fly off into outer space. Man resists himself. This is an old saying. It's an old text. Man supports himself on that which resists. Therefore, the earth resists man, else man existeth not. We're not even able to stand on the face of this planet if we didn't have the force of gravity or the earth pushing back against us to hold us. We'd just be free falling through space. That's on a physical, just a basic logical level. Now, the things with these basic truths is you can always take them to a different level. Also, resistance in our life. You need resistance in your life because it gives you something to overcome. It does, what they say, it'll build, like your grandpas used to say, do it, it's good for you, build character. And it really, really does. It really, really does. It does build character in you because you learn how to navigate. You learn how to handle adversity, how to deal with somebody who's getting up in your face. If you're just a child who's always loves and kisses and hugs and embraces his whole life, then he gets put out into the real world and somebody's mean to him. He turns into this beautiful little project, and then somebody just, that's stupid. Who did that? What moron built that? He's never experienced that in his life. He'll have a meltdown. He was not prepared. And as a parent or as a caretaker, you did not prepare that young man or young woman. You did not prepare that young child for adversity. Prepare them. Everything doesn't need to be, it's not, going through adversity, going through hard things is not bad. It needs to be tempered. Everything needs to be tempered. I like foraging. You bring a knife up to red hot or yellow hot temperature, and you start beating on it and smacking on it and stretching out. Well, you just change the molecular structure, everything, and then you take that whole thing and to harden it, you dip it in cold water, you dip it in oil or whatever, and you go from extreme hot to extreme cold. Well, that edge becomes very, very, very hard. But with that hardness, it becomes brittle and it breaks too easily as well. So somebody that's just all hardness and rough, they're not good either. They're damaged people. They're damaged, and they get ruined. So everything needs to be tempered. Everything has to have a balance. Nature has a rhythm to it, has a balance to it, and we are not and I get back to, I know I said I'd wrap up, but this really is, I'm closing it right here. Nature has a balance to it, and we are intimately bound to this earth. We come from it. It is our mother. It gave birth to us. We are from it. When we die, our body goes back to it. It is our mother, and we're bound to it. We wake up in the sun. We go to bed with we are intimately bound to this earth. That's why when we go on vacation, we want to go to the beach. We want to go to the mountains. We want to go camping. We love being close to the earth. So be in touch with his rhythms. Get out in nature. Spend some time outside. Unplug. Get off the computers. Get off the phone. It's such a necessary part of our life. But also, just look up. Go outside at night one time and just look up. It makes you feel, number one, it makes you feel small. It makes you feel inspired as well. Small, but yet, what's my place? What is my place on here? And you feel a part of a great big system. And there's no such thing as being superhuman, but being human is super. Because we are capable of great, 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 great things. We are technologically so great, so advanced, but consciously we need to catch up. We need to catch up with our consciousness and our conscious evolvement. And I think maybe that might hold our technological advances back as well. Once we get these I think we are at our max capacity with what we know, with what we have. I don't think we'll be trusted with more, greater, bigger, powerful things until we know how to manage gracefully and peacefully the things that we know how to do already. We already almost have the technology to destroy not only ourselves, but everything else on this planet and the planet as well. And I don't think that'll be a sad day. When the day that we realize that we are all brothers and sisters, that I'm just part of a bigger, grander system. That you're my brother, you're my sister. And even taking animals in the trees, and we have this earth by a chokehold, because we claimed ownership over it. It's here to use, and it's here to nurture us and to care for us, but it's not. We got it down by the throat hold and choke over the boot on its neck, extracting every resource that it has to give, and that's not the way it was meant to be, and it does have a detrimental effect. And we are supposed to be the caretakers, and if you go back, go back to scriptures and talk. It talks about that. I'm not being religious. I'm not a religious person, but it says God gave us dominion. Well, that doesn't mean you just get to be a tyrant. That goes back to the nature of the leader. Dominion means also to rule over, to take care. A king can be he's in dominion over the land, but you have kings that are tyrants and ruin the land, and the land is worse off for his reign. Do we want that to be our legacy? that this earth is worse off that we were a part of it. Because just believe it, when we go away, and we are going to go away one day, do we want to be another failed experiment? That our time spent on this earth was just a loss. This world was worse off because we were a part of it. That's a horrible legacy to leave behind. My legacy, you know what I want when I die? When I die, I want the people that knew me, the people that were a part of my life, I want them to say that their life was better because I was a part of it. I want nothing more from this life, that something I said or something I did, just that my life, the journey that I walked here, that the people that knew me, that their life was better because I was a part of it. And that will make me happy. And I want to wrap with that. Concentrating on the inner space, that which is not. Concentrate on tomorrow. Once you go to bed tonight and go to sleep tonight and make the last thought of your day just something good. Make an affirmation to yourself. Tomorrow is going to be this. Tomorrow I'm going to be this. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to behave like this. So the last thought of your day, to concentrate on that which has not happened yet, to realize something that has not happened yet. And then tomorrow morning when you wake up, reaffirm what you told yourself the night before. And you just that's the beginnings of a beautiful start to a brand new day. And doing this every day, who knows? I mean, this world will be a better place. I mean, but being a better place starts with you cleaning your own room, making your own bed, cleaning your own house, getting your own turmoil and creating your own peaceful space inside yourself. That's what creating this world starts with. It starts with you cleaning up yourself, cleaning up your room, cleaning up your house, cleaning up your neighborhood, cleaning up your community, to your city, to your state, to however far that you want to take it. And that's where it starts. But it all starts with you and me. And I'll close with that. And everybody have a nice day. Thanks for listening. And like I said, if anything else anybody wants to talk about, or things that we wanted to discuss, I'll do some research and I'll find out some stuff, and then we'll talk about it. We're gonna have a discussion about it, and who knows? Let me know. And these things are all important for us to talk about. I just want to create a platform here that people can talk about what they want. I don't care, man, woman, gender, background, anything, no matter what. I don't care. This is about, because spirituality transcends all physicality. And I want this to be a fun, happy, casual, just a very spiritual at times. We can go as deep as anybody else wants to go. And that will bring me great pleasure to look these things and talk about these things. And I only truly feel fulfilled when we're having these conversations and life is going that way. And we'll end with that. So everybody have a nice day. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your time. Take care, friends, and have a beautiful rest of your day. And just be kind to everyone. Take care, and do something nice for somebody. Even if they don't deserve it. They don't have to deserve it. It's just not about them. It's about you. So I'll close with that. See ya. Bye.